When the United Way called, Kirkwood Community College answered.
KSP's Alyssa Wilkie went along on the cleanup and has more. Alyssa?
More than 40 volunteers, led by Kirkwood's president, Mick Starcevich, helped to clean out 2 homes devastated by the summer floods.
This team's task was to muck out the home on the city's southeast side. That meant removing the ceiling, walls, floors, and the roof. Then the debris was hauled to the street for pickup and disposal. The owner of the flooded home, Robert Williams, lost a substantial part of his income by losing this rental house.
It's not in the best neighborhood, but it was a good house. I redid the whole thing. I put thousands of dollars in it before it was ruined. So had all tile floors, as you can see inside, and all the walls were everything was redone and the whole thing. So
sledgehammers, crowbars, screwdrivers, and the strength of Kirkwood volunteers were used to tear this house apart.
You consider so many people in need. It's just one small thing that we can do on Kirkwood's behalf for the community at large. And when you think about our name, Kirkwood Community College, I really focus in on those last 2 words. We are the community's college, and we need to play our part in this unbelievable disaster.
Even the smallest things often taken for granted and essentials, like this pile of clothing, a Christmas tree, a couch, a toothbrush, a spoon, and a jewelry box were lost.
While many people weren't directly affected by the flood, it's estimated that about 4,000 people in Linn County alone still do not have permanent homes. Bevan, Brittany?
All right, thanks a lot, Alyssa. While that team was cleaning out a home near the Czech Village, part of Cedar Rapids, another team worked on the city's northeast side. Now, Brittany, you went along with the basketball team as they walked away from the nets and into that home's devastation on the northeast side.
That's right, Bevan. Head basketball coach Doug Wagemester said he wanted his players to understand that coming to Kirkwood means more than just dribbling the ball.
Coach Wagemester led the men's basketball team to this house on Wilder Drive on the southeast side of Cedar Rapids.
Well, I'm from Cedar Rapids, and I've been around the flood since June and seen different things and been in a couple homes, but it even strikes me as beyond belief, just getting your hands in there and getting a different level of understanding of what happened. And I hope that's what's going on with our guys, too.
For some of the players, it was a shock to see the flood damages, but others were prepared.
Where I was down here for the summer when it happened, I was a little aware of it. And like my coach said, it's surprising, but I'm always glad to give a helping hand.
The Kirkwood basketball team showed a great amount of teamwork, not only on the court, but off the court as well.
You know, you really do see the devastation, and so it makes you very appreciative of what you have, and hopefully these guys will appreciate too what they have, and it's really nice for these guys to come out and get back a little bit, and hopefully they'll take a lot from this experience.
They put forth a lot of hard work by getting their hands dirty and giving a little extra back to the community.
Yeah, we're just happy to help. I mean, anytime you can come out and give some support, you know, that's what it's all about. So we're happy we can give you, I guess, this house a little bit of help and get the mess out of the way.
Of course, it wasn't long before the Eagle men hit the boards and began to what has so far been an excellent season.
Well, we should mention that many organizations and individuals helped flood victims. Student Senate members helped rebuild a playground destroyed by the flood as a part of the Kaboom project with the Cedar Rapids Parks and Recreation Department. The flood provided lessons from Kirkwood students, including those in our own communications media program. That story's coming up.
And later, one of the most heartbreaking aspects of Kirkwood's role in flood relief.
There were many lessons learned from the floods of 2008. Long after the floodwaters receded, the disaster provided much food for thought.
For students in News Media Convergence class, it provided an opportunity to hear from the media professionals on the challenges of providing 24-hour coverage on the floods.
Some of the local media facilities are also located in the flood zone and fought to continue coverage.
Our CEO basically came to me and said, I just got done sitting down with city leaders and the National Guard telling them that we are not evacuating. At this point, we are providing a public service and we, cannot leave.
Across all media outlets, staff worked extra hours and long days to provide the necessary coverage.
I think for like 3 or 4 days, probably on average 14 hours. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go home.
Always something happening, so it was basically a 20-hour shift.
Spent 6 days
12 hours in a row in a booth talking about one of the biggest natural disasters ever to hit eastern Iowa, let alone the Midwest.
Because of constant updates, it was impossible to prepare scripts for any of the news anchors.
Now we have it all written, but during this time there was no such thing. I mean, everything was fly by the seat of our pants, and there was no scripts. There were no scripts for days and days on end. And
although the floodwaters have receded, the coverage still continues.
Big stories. There still are big stories happening because, I mean, people still lost their homes. They aren't back. They won't be back for a very long time. They probably never. There are many people that won't be back, and the city's still rebuilding. And it's our job to cover that and make sure that people know what is the future of Cedar Rapids.
Heather Smith, KSP News.
Many people can talk the talk, but when it came to walking the walk, nobody did it better than the National Recovery Organization known as 8 Days of Hope.
KSP's Jamie Morris joins us now with more on that story. Jamie?
Thanks, Bevan. Volunteers with the faith-based group came from all over the United States and Canada to help. While they stayed 8 days, their kindness and hard work will be remembered much longer.
8 Days of Hope started their work on October 26th, bright and early at 6 a.m. They would finish up in the evenings with paperwork and get home around 11 o'clock at night. On at least one occasion, they didn't get in until 1 in the morning. There are about 600 volunteers coming in every day to work on projects, whether it was just cleaning up a backyard or rebuilding a home from the ground up. This is only one of several projects that this nationwide faith-based group has worked on.
This group is just, it was an amazing group, and this is the 6th project that they've worked on. And what was really neat was just even the relationships that everybody had, knowing each other, coming back. And they may not see each other until another. It's terrible to say that a disaster brings them together, but it was just very neat to see the community they have within their own group of people.
This is just a great group of people, and this will be one of our first times to have as many local neighbors close by. Your city wasn't totally wiped out.
With over 1,300 volunteers working throughout the week, 8 Days of Hope was able to help about 110 homeowners.
Many families are grateful. Unfortunately, there are many other families who will continue to struggle rebuilding their lives as well as dealing with the emotional loss from the flood of 2008. Brittany? One of the best ways to stay updated and make donations is to visit the Corridor Recovery website. Go to corridorrecovery.org. You can see updated flood recovery headlines, check out volunteer opportunities, and give donations.
When we come back, we'll have a look at how local agencies teamed up with Kirkwood to keep service going during the early stages of the flood.